WBO Flyweight champion Brian Viloria. Tell me, Brian, I saw you step on the scale. You're already on weight. Is that the advantage of being at 112?
Yeah. I mean,
Why are you trying to run away from the question?
No, I thought I don't. You know what? I don't know if there's advantages. I just trained hard for this fight, and you know, my last fight I was on weight maybe a couple days before the fight, but I just went right back to training, and I didn't really get myself overweight. So it made it easier this time for me to make my weight. And it's not, you know, it's nothing. There's no advantages. There's no secrets or anything. Just keep yourself in shape when you're not fighting, and everything will be easy.
So of course, you're very familiar with Giovani Segura. He was he sparred with you 2 weeks before he fought Eric Ortiz to win the championship the first time. I believe you guys worked together for 5 different fights. Talk to me about you know, the familiarity you have with Giovani. Does he know everything there is to know about you, and do you know everything there is to know about him?
You know what? When sparring is like scrimmage, you know, you don't give your best foot forward. You just try to work on things that you need to work on. So sometimes it gives you a false sense of saying, all right, you know, he fights this way or he fights that way, and that's how I'm gonna fight him. It really kind of throws you off when when you switch it up. That's what you do in sparring. You have to work on things that you need to work on, and when you work on those things, of course, you're not gonna bring your best foot forward. You're not gonna be landing shots that you're supposed to be landing. But you know, it's that those type of things that you know, sparring is a different level. You know, other than the real fight. I mean, the real fight is a whole different level than fighting in sparring sessions. So it'll be, you know, different. But you kind of get the sense of their style when you do spar with them. And for me, I think Segura, you know, is gonna be the same. He has that one-dimensional style, come at you, try to put you up in the corner, and try to slug you out of submission. And that's his style. So, you know, we worked on a plan to counter that and try to work on things that we need to do in the fight to get this W.
What advantage, if any, is there that this fight is in Manila?
Was that?
What advantage is there, if any, that this fight is in Manila for you?
The crowd factor is always, you know, an advantage when they when they cheer for you and try to uplift you in those times when you feel like you're running out of gas. For me, you know, it's those type of things that ignite me and it excites me, and you know, I think that's one of the key things that's going to be an advantage when it comes fight night.
Now, of course, Segura, the odds makers have him as the favorite. Does that help your mindset at all? Because I know some of your biggest wins have been, like the Solis fight, you were an underdog. Even a lot of people weren't sure if you were ready for Eric Ortiz. Is that an advantage to you, or does that affect you at all?
I love being the underdog. I love being the underdog. It motivates me in the spar, in the training. It motivates me when I get ready for a fight. And you know, being an underdog really doesn't, you know, get to me. It just helps me fight harder. You know, and so in that way, it's positively pushing me to the right direction in each fight. And I love fighting. You know, when everybody's doubting me, I love fighting and trying to prove them wrong.
Well, you know, you say you love the underdogs, but you're a Lakers fan. Shouldn't you be a Clippers fan then?
No, I'm still gonna be a Lakers fan.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair that you say you love the underdogs if you root for a team. Oh, okay, you don't like it when the Lakers are the underdogs.
I don't like when the Lakers are underdogs, even though this season finally started. So, you know, but. You know, Clippers are good. They're good. You know, Blake Griffin, they're all right. You know,
I see your face straining on that question right there. I mean, does it help you mentally that the season is going to start?
I think I'm pretty glad the season did start kind of late, you know, or else I wouldn't put my whole attention on just trying to train for this fight. I think I would have been there concentrating on who's gonna be playing in the second or third week.
Yeah, I would say you know, that's a big distraction because you know those important second and third weeks. But talk to me about your style versus Segura's style. You're a boxer puncher. He's a guy that we all know how he's going to fight. He's going to come forward. He's going to press. Yeah. So I mean, tell me, is it easier for you to figure him out than it is for him to figure you out, or do you guys just know each other that well?
I think I'm so versatile. I think in the sport, I can box. I can slug it out with you. I think that's going to be the difference between this fight. I don't think Segura's gonna figure out what style I'm gonna bring into the ring. You know, I could go in there and change it up if I have to. I know Segura's there one-dimensional. He'll fight the same fight in every fight. But for me, I think I'm gonna have to, you know, switch it up. I'm gonna have to make him think, keep him on his toes, and make him keep thinking what type of style I'm gonna bring into the ring.
Now, you've been a smaller fighter for a long time. And the issue with those weights is that the networks don't tend to tune in as much, and as a result, the fans may not be able to see the fights, all the fights. They have to look on the internet to find them. How do you feel that's been unfair? That your career hasn't gotten the attention that, say, a lot of guys who are fighting on HBO have, even if they're not fighting as high a class fighter as you are?
Yeah, it's sad. You know, it's sad. I think this type of fight does deserve the attention of maybe the HBO or Showtime audiences, and you know, we fight our hearts out, and the little guys also put up great fights, and hopefully this fight is gonna give the attention to the fight fans or to the market, saying, hey, you know, even though we're 108 and 112 pounders, we're still gonna give great fights like those of the middleweights or the welterweights, you know. And so, you know, down the line, that's all we can hope for is that type of attention. Right now, we're gonna have to fight for those.
Now, of course, you know, when you were on top of the world after you knocked out Solis, you had that first defense. Then the Tamada fight happened, and you were coming back against Soto. You switched trainers like 2 weeks before the fight. Talk about that roller coaster that's been going on. You know, following this third, preceding this third world title reign, and onto this fight. Talk about that. You know, all the things you've had to go through with that.
The resiliency of my career, that's what it is. I think if I had to use one word, resilient. You know, I've gone up and down so many times in my career. It is like a roller coaster, and right now I'm back on top as a world champion, and I want to stay there. You know, it's really hard to become a world champion, but it's also 10 times harder to stay as a world champion, and I understand that completely. And you know, it's past some careers, it's what who made me today. You know, I can't really take anything away from all the things that happened in the past. I think I'm a complete fighter now. Training has been great. I think I'm ready. I'm more than ready for this fight, and I want to go in there and show the world that you know, Brian Viloria is the new Brian Viloria in this weight division, and I want to stay as a world champion for as long as I can.
Talk about this new trainer, Mario. Talk to me about him. What has been different about your training camps with him?
Mario Morales is the type of trainer. He's an old school trainer. You know, he'll go in there and just work your butt off. He'll go in there and say, hey, you need to have the condition. You have to have the right stamina to go full 12 rounds. And without that, without the right gas, you can't do all the things that you're capable of doing. And Mario is the type of trainer. He gets you in the gym, you work your ass off. You go to the mountains, you run your ass off, and he'll make sure that you're gonna go to full 12 rounds without breathing heavy. You know, and that's the type of trainer that Mario is.
Now, that's been a primary criticism of your career, stamina. That's something you acknowledge that has been an issue in the past, and is it something that you've had to work hard to rectify?
Yeah, I did. You know, there's I train real hard for this fight. You know, I go to sparring, I go to training, and you know, it's the conditioning was the main concern and the main point of this fight, and I'm really confident that I'm gonna go 12 rounds. You know, like I'm gonna be looked at the 12th round like I'm gonna be looking the first round, and I have that conditioning right now. I made my weight easy. You know, I'm in the right shape. I'm eating right, sleeping right. You know, I'm mentally there, and so there's not gonna be any excuses in this fight.
You've lived in the Philippines before, I recall understanding. With your grandma, was it?
Yeah.
Talk to me about living in the Philippines. How long were you in the Philippines for?
I was actually raised here when I was like 6 months old to when I was 6. I was in the North provinces, in the Ilocos, and you know, I was raised by my grandparents. My dad was trying to get his visa to go back to the United States, and so they needed help to raise their child. So I was here, and they helped me raise. You know, Ilocano is my first language, and I had to learn English as my second language when I went to the United States.
So you speak Ilocano also? Oh wow! So so how many dialects do you speak in Filipino?
Just one. I understand Tagalog a little bit, Tagalog, but Ilocano I'm more fluent in that.
We're in the same boat. Don't worry. Talk to me also about you know, because here you are in the Philippines, you know, where your life basically started. Does that give you a little bit of motivation to be around the people that are, they're all going to be highly partisan in favor of you? They hinge a lot of their hopes on their athletes here, and they look to sports stars to uplift them. What does that do for you?
It motivates me. I want to do well for my people. I want to do well for the fans. I want to show them a great fight and entertain them. And to give them a sense of this greatness, and especially in the sport of boxing. And I want them to feel proud of something, and that's why I train really hard for them. That's why I try to do my best in each fight.
Now, final question. Segura said, of course, predictably is saying that he's going to knock you out. What do you say that you're going to do to Segura?
I'm going to knock him out.
All right.